Liverpool versus everybody. Good day to everybody. Good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever it is where you are. Hope you're enjoying your Monday and your Monday has started off well to begin your week. Um, so lots of things to talk about today. So whatever you're doing, if you got time, get a meal, get some soda, get a beer, get your homework out, whatever you got to do. I'm going to be on here for a bit. I don't know how much a bit is, but it'll be a bit. So let me just start with the title, which I kind of just tried to make a basic because you can fit so many things in the title. So, Shades of Blue. What's up, Mame? What's up? Who else was that? Mercy. Shades of Blue is just these games. These three games, or four games if you count the Carabao Cup, is Chelsea, Napoli, City, all blue, all teams that are part of this so-called hard stretch that we're in, which I think we've gone through and gotten through pretty well, probably better than a lot of us would have thought. There's a whole saying of if someone was to give us 4 points away to Spurs and Chelsea, you would take it. Fair enough. So shades of blue, and I think just going back to that Chelsea game, not the cup game, but the league game. Just so many things to unpack there for me. And first of all, I just want to talk about Sturridge and Ramses because those are the two guys that for me got us the win. It's essentially Sturridge is the one who gets that point for us. I spoke about how he looked coming onto that game. I spoke about everyone's spoken about how fresh he looks this season, how determined, how hungry he looks to to show. I hate to even say to show because I think people who look at Sturridge and don't look at this whole foolish, lazy narrative, which the way he took that shot almost looked lazy in a way, but Sturridge in his own right knew he was going to hit that. And I don't care what you say about Hazard. Hazard's not scoring a goal like that. The goal he scored against us in the cup was so hyped and so talked about. The Sturridge goal was easily a better goal for so many reasons I'm not going to get into. That's just my own opinion. But yeah, I mean, I think that whole narrative of him being lazy is to me a lazy narrative, and you can only but root for a guy like Sturridge who's just had a really great season so far for us. I mean, tied as the most goals in the team is big, and so we need to talk about Sturridge. We need to talk about the goalkeeper. Ramses is the middle name of Allison. His name is Allison Ramses Becker. Sturridge tried the same shot in the cup. Exactly. He got a little bit of practice in, and then again the confidence it shows in a guy to he missed that in midweek to take it again to hit it. I mean, I think collectively most Reds fans in unison were like, no. In unison, I think everybody in the ground at home watching it, and then for him to hit that is just, I mean, that's amazing. Sturridge tried the same, yeah. So, yes, again, it's good to see Sturridge get that for so many reasons. This guy had the nerve on the podcast that will remain nameless because again, I'm not on here to try to tell people what podcasts are full of shit. And to be honest, this podcast is usually really good and it's one of my go-tos. But they had a guy on there who said something like he wants a, and I don't even somebody can remind me how much do we pay for Ramses? I'm calling him Ramses from now on. I'm not calling him Alisson. I'm calling him Ramses. I don't know how much the reason why I don't know how much we pay for him or remember is because it's irrelevant to me. To me, he's more than back to that price tag. But there was someone who had the nerve to say a 60 million, whatever we paid for him, keeper like that should stop the Hazard goal. Few things. Number one, yes, he could have gotten to that. And my thing is, me growing up in sports, specifically in American football, my uncle told me everything I knew was sports, and he said if the ball touches your hand, you should catch it. So that's kind of my thinking with goalkeepers. If the ball touches your hand, then there's a chance for you. There was a chance for you to save it. And I think when you look at that again, 9 times out of 10, our keeper usually comes up with that save, right? I mean, it wasn't that difficult of a shot. I think in his mind, he's backing himself. One, he doesn't want to get beat, near post. Two, he's thinking as long as he is, as good as he can get back if in fact it goes far right, which is what it did. It did that. He didn't get it. Am I really knocking him for that? No. This guy's going to save us win us so many points this season. It's just the beginning of what our keeper's going to do for us. This is just the beginning. And I say him and Sturridge because, listen, if Chelsea get those early chances and they're clinical with them, the Willian one, the second Hazard one, that game is over. And you can say the same thing for Liverpool. If we're clinical on our chances, the game is over. So that's why I think the game was such small margins, and I think the game almost turned into the David Luiz show, which would have been a disgrace. One, because I don't think David Luiz is that good, but we know he has it in his locker to show up in games like this, and he did that. That long pass over the top where Robertson falls asleep, that should probably be a goal. And that's an assist from David Luiz, and then also he had a really great game defensively. He's the one who saves the header from, or kick saves the header from Firmino. So David Luiz, all in all, played a really good game, and it's this close for there being stories about how great David Luiz is and how much we all slept on him and didn't hype him up enough or didn't give him enough respect. And even he may come out and say that because he hears what people say about him. So luckily that wasn't the story. But again, that's what could have happened. Mame says, I think Chelsea players underrated him because they gave him a lot of space and didn't even try to close him down. You can't even say the Chelsea players. I'm going to say N'Golo Kante, who I thought had an amazing game. He was the guy right there that probably should have. This is N'Golo Kante. When is he not shut someone down? When is he not closing down on another player? So that was a huge shock to me. Again, I'm going to get to this now, actually. Sorry got a bit cocky there at the end. To bring on Barkley, Morata, I mean, come on. Why on earth would you bring those two players in? How are they going to affect the game that you're already pretty much in control of? When you get that goal, your idea now is just to play defense the best you can. If you get some chance, if you can catch us on the counter, which you did, then fine. But your idea now is to play defensive. Bringing in Barkley, bringing in Morata does nothing of the sort for you. Mercy says the problem is Sturridge can't start many games in a row. Yeah, that's obviously probably the case. And honestly, I love Sturridge, and I think I'm enjoying him being. I wish the Premier League had something like the NBA, which they have like the six-man award of the year, which is the best guy off the bench for your team. Now, obviously, basketball is. Did I say football? Basketball, NBA basketball is 5-on-5. Football is obviously 11-on-11. So I wish they had like a 12th man of the year because I think we have 2 to 3 candidates who we can say are already showing they are providing much needed energy off the bench. And I personally like Sturridge coming off the bench, as well as Shaqiri. Now, of course, there's games that you want to see them start, maybe more so Shaqiri. But I'm liking the idea that they're coming off the bench, personally. When Sturridge is fit, he's best striker in the world currently. Yeah, here's my thing. I've said it before. If Sturridge never had his injury issues, there would be no Harry Kane. You can argue with me if you want. There would be no Harry Kane. I mean, in the Premier League and in the English setup, in the international team. You know what I mean? I feel like at the end of the day, Sturridge's injuries have kept him limited. That's what it is. And I think he's a better player on his day. And I'm saying on his day, even now, today. If when he's on his game, he's a better striker, in my opinion, than Harry Kane. If he hadn't had these injuries, they would have had to figure out how to play them both, or Sturridge would have been the striker. Sturridge would be the English striker that everyone would be looking at, not Harry Kane. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm not wavering on that opinion. So, yeah, again, it's so many reasons to root for him. But back to Sarri, I think he really, really disrespected the competition and the importance of that game, and I think he threw that game away. Now, no one in their right mind but Sturridge is thinking he's going to come on and hit that goal, but at the same time, it goes to show our bench is much improved. If we can bring on Shaqiri, Sturridge, and Keita, and they're bringing on, who is it, Barkley, Morata, and whoever, Victor Moses, then we win that battle right there. I don't know why they're taking off Giroud. I really don't get that. I think that's the best person to have in to get Willian involved, to get Hazard involved. Morata's not going to do anything for you. I don't get that. And so I think he dropped the ball on that. Now, Ramses, again, for anyone who doesn't know, is Alisson's middle name. I'm referring to him as Ramses. Let's carry on. But yeah, so, and let's talk about Hazard. Again, because listen, Hazard has never come close. I know there was one season for Salah. Hazard has never come close to what Salah has done, and he never will, okay? I know Sarri's getting on the mic and saying things like, I think he can score 40 across the season. That's fine. Let me see it. And then I'll hold my hands up if he gets it and I'm wrong. I'm not going to get into the whole if he's the best in the Premier League. If you watch this channel, you know how I feel about that. Hazard is hot and cold at best. And at the end of the day, Chelsea showed that's the best they've played all season. And that's their ceiling to me. They had to play their best, and they still got a draw. So, Hazard, it's Hazard or bust. If he gets injured or he falls into a slump, where are they getting goals from? If somebody could tell me. Where are they getting goals from? Kovac's subs caused us to win. He was the best player. Yeah, again, Sarri dropped the ball. It is a cool middle name, and for Lark, I agree. Sorry, dropped the ball. He was the reason they lost. And again, I think he's fitting into his own, reverse psychology that he tried to put out there a few games ago, saying that, oh, Liverpool are a bit ahead of us, City are a bit ahead of us. In my opinion, I wouldn't want my manager saying that, but I think he's saying that to say, hey, look, I think we can beat these teams, and if and when we do, I can say, boom, we beat them in the cup, we beat them at home. That was just a little bit of reverse psychology. It didn't work this time. Sorry, it didn't work this time. I thought Wijnaldum was the best midfielder at the pitch. I said that as well. I thought he was again. The more I watch, and I'm gonna watch the game over again because to me the game was just that good. I don't know how there's people saying that game almost put them to sleep. That was an amazing game. A lot of frustration on our parts as a fan watching it, but as a neutral, or I think just looking at it objectively, that was an amazing game to watch. And again, that was Chelsea's ceiling. You've heard it here first. They'll never get better than that. I'm not being cocky. I'm not. They're just never gonna get better than that. If they get a striker in January, perhaps, but they're not getting it. D Sturgis in the chat. What's up, number 15? Glad you got that goal for us. I'm glad you were able to stop the heart attack that almost happened. But yeah, when y'all done, there's someone else we need to really talk about. But just continuing with the stream that I was going with Hazard. At the end of the day, we need to. What pissed me off was that we had nobody shadowing him. There's no excuse for them to catch us out like that for the first goal and especially the second chance he had. There's no excuse for that. Great goal by Sturridge. There's no excuse for that. And Klopp should know better than that. I mean, there's enough tape to see. We saw enough of that in the Carabao Cup. There's no way he should ever. There's someone should be watching him every minute, and it's disgraceful. It's a shame to hear Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, well, the ref should never allowed them to kick the ball that fast on a free kick." That is utter bullshit and another loser mentality. If that was us, people would be saying, "Well, Chelsea should have been awake." And that same thing goes for Liverpool. We should have been awake. You cannot let a player like Hazard, who essentially is a marksman, he's a hitman. He's a hitman. That's his job, to stab Liverpool in the heart every time we play. And he usually does it. Now, there's some real joy from that Sturridge goal as well, because last few games we had David Luiz catches asleep again against Mignolet. We had Willian on this fluke, looked like a pass goal, which was just out of his mind crazy. The thing about Sturridge is that he meant to do that. There's no flukeness there. This is Sturridge at his best, okay? There's no flukeness there. So there was something special about us getting that draw in that way. And Chelsea fans are sour. They're salty. They should have won the game, and whining about us celebrating a draw. Listen, if you're in our place, you would celebrate it as well, and rightfully so. Anyone who thinks it's a joke that we celebrate that, then I can't help you. You know what I mean? The fact that you stayed unbeaten, the fact that you're still tied top with City with points, why would you not celebrate that? But Chelsea fans are sour and salty because they thought they had that game, and they should have had the game. But that showed that Liverpool is the real challengers to City in my mind, not Chelsea. I keep telling you guys that. Some of you are going to tell me that I'm disrespecting Chelsea, that I'm not giving them credit, I'm not giving them much respect. I'm jumping to conclusions. That's fine. To me, with that goal, getting that point, Liverpool showed that they're made of something different this season, not what they've usually been doing. Hey, so that to me was glaring, and that's obvious. So let's see, skip some of you guys' comments. If you put a man on Hazard, he's useless. Yeah, and people are saying put 2 or 3, which is dumb to me. That's pretty much playing with 9 men. You can't look. He's not God. You don't focus 2 or 3 guys on him. I think you can put Genie on him all game. Have Genie just watch him. That's it. Genie, Keita, and whoever. At the same time, we can't have a situation where he's one-on-one with Gomez. Trent can't be sucked out of the game like that. It was almost like a throw-in in basketball. In basketball here in America, they have what you would essentially call set pieces. Ball goes out of bounds. Coaches draw up a play. A lot of times you'll have guys doing different screens and trying to get open, and you get your best player open for an easy shot, a dunk, an easy 3, or whatever. Hazard was that outlet guy. And they just ran circles around midfield, and somehow he was released without any kind of defense. That cannot happen. Against a guy like Hazard, anyone who's that threatening, you cannot allow him to get free that many times. That's atrocious. It's atrocious defending. So, we've got to be better on that. Let's see. Don't forget they were playing home. There's no way they perform like that. Oh, no question. There's no way they perform like that at all this season. Mark my words, you heard it here first. Now, I might be wrong. There might be a game where they raise their level a bit against a team like City. Other than that, that's the best you're going to see from Chelsea. I've been wondering if we can go 3-5-2 to mix it up. And for Lark, that's interesting. Who would be your three? Who would be your five? And who would you have two? Would you put Sturridge up front with Firmino? Talk to me about that because I'm open to all different formations. And I think we have a team that we can be a little bit more flexible with that. So I'm looking to see Klopp maybe revisit that 4-2-3-1, maybe do the 4-4-2 diamond. So I'm open to different formations. Anything where we can keep teams off balance, keep them kind of on their toes and not really know what we're going to do, I think the better. Mercy says Chelsea fans saying they deserve the win because they had less chances. I don't know how it works. No, I'm with you, Mercy. I'm with it. Again, listen, it's Chelsea fans. They always say the most ridiculous things, especially when it comes to Liverpool. So listen, I get that they're hurt and they feel like they should have won, and they probably thought that that felt like a loss because yet again we're above them. We're above them. So it is what it is. I mean, if they think they should have won, then I don't know what they call the chances that we had, the clear cut chances that on another day we slot them. And so again, it is what I think on the strength of everything. I think the draw at the end, the final whistle, that's probably the best result we could have gotten. If we finish our chances, we smoke them, but they could say the same thing. But Ramses has something to say different. So put Fabinho or Robertson at left center back. Okay. Firmino could even play midfield. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we got him as a 10. I think he a lot of times essentially plays more of a deep lying forward /10 anyway. I mean, dropping so deep to get the ball, so why not? Thompson, Chelsea's possession was below their normal standard. We dominated all it. We did, and that's why I don't get people saying we should have lost and we were lucky and all that. Listen, call it what you want. That shot is not a lucky shot. That's a measured, confident player you see who may just have his mojo back. You know what I mean? I mean, at this point, did he have even close to this many goals? I don't know. Last season or for the whole season. So, Shaq could go center attack and mid, left wing back maybe. Maybe. I don't know about wing back. Maybe though. Stir solid money. Yeah, no, I like all of that. All those are good ideas. Mercy says the answer for Lark. Are you crazy for being your left center back? And Shaqiri left wing back. I don't think that's crazy. I don't necessarily agree with the wing back. I think he could play it. I don't know if that's where we can use him at. But I'm not counting that out. I think the left center back for Fabinho is definitely not crazy at all. It's essentially playing fullback, which he has experience in, and surely he can play center back if we needed him to. So I don't think that's crazy, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, we definitely showed, I think, who was the real challengers to City, and that's Liverpool. And again, with the bench, when you're bringing off those kind of players and Chelsea's bringing off who they're bringing off, you know who's going to win that. You wear Chelsea down. And again, I think Salah's a guy who we may want to consider maybe having him come off the bench in this game against Napoli. You want to have your full strength team. And again, I don't really know if we all can agree on what our full strength team is, but part of me wants to see Naby. I'm mixed with Naby because I feel like I want to see him in the City game. He's been on the bench a lot. I know he played a lot in the Carabao Cup. Do you play him for 60, 70 minutes, sit him down, then have him ready for City? Do you have him come off the bench against Napoli? I don't know. Should we be worried about Klopp's trusted midfield three going forward? Is that going to be an issue for us? Give me some of your thoughts on that. To me, that's a midfield that is good enough to win things. Do we want a midfield that's good enough, or do we want a midfield who can take us over that hurdle and be kind of that missing piece to more consistent play? Again, I think it's a bit overdone with the talk of the midfield against Chelsea, in my opinion. Was it great? No. Was it awful? I don't think so either. I mean, I think it was, again, good enough. I think Genie was amazing. Milner did some things. Milner especially is probably a bit leggy. You would think Genie would be too, but clearly his fitness levels are really, really high because he looks like he can run all day. He looks like after games that he can play another 90 minutes. There was back-to-back games in one night. He looks like he can play, back-to-back games. I don't know Napoli been playing this. I don't know how they've been playing this. I don't either. I really don't care either. To me, Napoli is the least of my concerns. And I want to take every game as it is, but I gotta be honest. I definitely have City on my mind. Because again, it's another chance for us to prove we're for real this season. You know what I mean? And the reason why I talked about Chelsea and their ceiling is that Liverpool's ceiling is way beyond that. We haven't even as most people would say, we haven't even hit our top form. So that enough is more than I need to know of how good and how many other gears we can even get into. So Mercer says some of our fans say Salah is one season wonder, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't, when you got your own fans saying it, then what do you do? So rival fans are saying it, our own fans are saying it. Either way, people can say what they want. I don't give a damn. And honestly, even if he was and we win the league, do you think I'm tripping? So, and again, speaking on the win the league thing, there's not really much of an excuse this season, guys. Let's be honest. We got the keeper that we needed. We got the keeper that we wanted, who I think is a top class keeper, and he showed that. Cleaning those balls up like that, again, you can say Sturridge is the reason why we won, but I think Ramses is also there. It's Sturridge / Ramses. You know what I mean? We got. I think you could say at this point. I know it's early. He's got to be up there with one of the top keepers in the league right now. I'm sorry. I mean, what he's doing, what he did in that Chelsea game, it was just amazing. It was just amazing. And so, just thankful that we have him, because we can't lean on this. We don't have a keeper anymore. We can't. So we have that now. We need to be getting this trophy, man. We need to be getting this trophy. If we play Hendo, Milner, Genie, with the front three to be, the front three to be creative, but at the moment they aren't quite at last season's level. Okay, fair enough. Jason, what's good? What's good? Dom, what's up? Salah has scored one less goal than when he did the time. Yeah, again, and people are just glossing over that fact, or they just not hearing that, or don't remember that. But and that's what I'm saying. There's no point in me tripping. I mean, Salah has never been the most amazing finisher. He got on a roll last season, midway to last part of that season, and he was just scoring for fun. But he was never like an incredible finisher. He just wasn't. So I don't know why people are losing their shit, especially when we're winning games. What I don't ever want to see again from Liverpool is these short corners. That's stupid. I'm sorry. That makes no sense. And again, in a game like that, you need everything, because shit ain't going for us. It's suffocating, and we needed a Sturridge goal to win it, or to win a point. So set pieces, especially when you have Shaqiri in the field, we should never be doing short set pieces. That doesn't make any sense. Put the ball in the box, try to hurt them in the box, in the air. That to me made no sense. So I don't want to see that anymore. I think we really need to make that a priority from getting goals from set pieces, especially in games where we're not being clinical. It's not coming off for us. Our defense is holding us down. We can't have these games where our defense is stepping up, whether it's the keeper, the back four, whatever, or the team in general. Because, I mean, pressing and counterattacking to me is part of defense. So if we're doing well defensively, which I think we did well for the most part, besides those moments where we fell asleep, we can't have these games where we can't get a point because we can't get a goal. We need to find ways to get goals. So if it's set pieces, we got to be better at that. As simple as that. The only excuse to why we can't win the league is if Man City win it by 100 points. Well, that's not going to happen again. And we play a role in that. So, again, no excuse. We need to be beating City. I mean, let's be the reason why they don't get 100 points. You know what I mean? So, why not have Liverpool strive for 100 points? So, again, I've said it before. If City can get it, I don't see why Liverpool can. Yes, they might be slightly deeper than us. But again, we always play well against them 11v11, which I'm assuming it'll be 11v11. So again, I'm really thinking about that game slightly more than the Napoli game. Sorry. Great keeping by Alisson, 2 power saves, amazing saves. I mean, and it kind of, for me, look, it's hard to say you forget about the Hazard goal, because that's the goal that gives them their point, right? But as amazing as he was in that game, for the rest of the game, stopping those 2, huge chances for them. I mean, why would I can't dwell on the one that he didn't save. The one. I can't dwell on that. So, Alisson and Virgil van Dijk aren't only good players, but they are leaders. They are, and you can definitely see that in both of them. You don't see Alisson throwing a fit, because, look, he'd be right to be upset with the defense. He never did that. There was a time when Genie was probably the weakest part of his game, weakest moment in his performance, where Genie, he's put in a bad situation, so we get it, and he puts a really bad back pass back to Alisson, cleans that up. What does he do? This to the ref to show that Morata got a kick on it. He doesn't yell at Genie, he doesn't yell at Van Dijk, he just says, come on, let's do it. And that's what you need. Now, again, there's moments where you need players to hold other people accountable. But it's just nice to see that Alisson is just so cool, so calm, so sure of himself, and I think sure of his teammates. And what I want to say before I forget, first of all, I love seeing Klopp and Sturridge embrace after that game. I love seeing that. And I loved seeing Klopp. The first thing he did after celebrating was jump over the bench, all the seats, and go get Salah and just give Salah a hug, a kiss, whatever he gave them. I love seeing that. And so Klopp, he just so everything he does, man. I love him being the manager of this club, and I couldn't have imagined anyone else. I'm going to be really, really, really sad when he leaves. But again, I just wanted to come on here and talk about it. Again, I don't know much about Napoli, what they're going to do. I know some of their players. It looks like Jorginho was kind of the the focus of the heart and soul of their team last season. So they lost him, they lost their manager. They've still got some great players, of course. They've also got some hype. And so, I don't know. Maybe I can find a rerun of or a playback of them in Juventus just to see what they do, or maybe find something to watch on them. But honestly, again, I'm looking for us to get at least a point, if not the three. I think we can beat them, though. I think we can beat them, and that's going off obviously not seeing much of them. Um, but from what I can tell and what I can see, they haven't been doing that well in their league. And it's not just about losing to Juventus. I think most teams are going to lose to Juventus in their league, so that's not really a big deal. But I don't know. It seems like it's going to take that manager to a while to really, really get them believing in what he wants to do. We know what happened at Bayern, where he kind of lost that team quite early. I think Pep Guardiola is probably a hard act to follow for any club. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But it's in Naples, and I really, really hope that we're able to rest a few guys. I think we can afford to do that, honestly, and still give Napoli more than they can handle. So we'll see what Klopp is saying in the press tomorrow. Get some more information out about it. I'll do my own research about them. But yeah, I think Napoli's a team that we can beat. We saw how they struggle with Red Star, which doesn't always mean a lot because it's two different matchups. Just because they struggle with Red Star doesn't mean they're going to struggle with us. But I'd like to back us against a team like Red Star. I'd like to back us against a team like Napoli. So this at this point looks like a group that it's really in our hands, unless we have any kind of breakdowns or just mental issues in these games. And I think we should pretty much sweep this group pretty easily. So see what happens with that. Let's see some of these comments. The LC versus City game will be massive. I'm feeling whoever wins will go on a run. Yeah, and that's the way you got to look at it. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping for Liverpool. We win that game and we keep going. It's not like, oh, we win. We've finally come to this match. Let's relax. No, you can't. We can't afford to do it. City have set a precedent. They've set a benchmark. There's no time to rest. There's no time to rest. So, hopefully we can get through City and just keep mowing through teams. However, we have to do it. One of these teams are going to get it soon, though. Maybe it's Napoli, maybe it's City. One of these teams are going to get blown out very, very soon. So we'll see when that is. If we're in the Champions League semifinal against Real Madrid and we're first in the league by 2 points with 5 games to go, what competition will you play the full 11 in? That's a good question. I got to say the league, man. I think, again, going back to the Carabao Cup, I'm not going to be contradicting to myself now because I think that was, to me, a blow. At the time, I can get over it and accept what happened. But at the time, that's a cup you want to win. Now, we've won that the most, I believe. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but we've won that trophy the most. So I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is obviously the league, even before Champions League for me. Champions League is probably next. To me, it's league, Champions League. Either one would be great. Both would be beyond amazing. But yeah, that's a good question, Mercy, and I think I got to go with league because that's what I want more than anything else. Champions League would be great. FA Cup would be great, but the league is what I need. So, Virgil van Dijk got his first moments as captain versus Chelsea. He looked really happy. Was that in the cup? Did he get captain in the cup? Okay. Napoli would be tough, but our defense is so good right now. I can't. Again, Jason, that's what I've been saying. I don't remember the last time I was this confident in this team. The defense is just so impressive. Yeah, we had some moment against Chelsea that I'm still pissed off about, and I really hope that we can clear that up because we can't afford to fall asleep like that in games, especially against a team with that kind of caliber of a player and Hazard. So, but yeah, I agree. You said that perfectly. Let's see. City can't afford to rest too many tomorrow, which is nice. They need to win as they lost to Lyon. Who are they playing tomorrow? I haven't really checked their group. Are they playing a team that they could? Someone told me this the other day, but I can't remember who it was. Is it a team that you think they could struggle with? Somebody let me know who they're playing. I'm so glad City lost to Lyon. They have to go all out. Oh yeah, and it's not a surprise though, Thompson. They're not built for the Champions League. When you got their fans booing the Champions League anthem. I mean, that says it all. I mean, who boos the anthem? That's such a lovely. I mean, doesn't everyone look forward to hearing that? So when you're booing the anthem, I mean, come on. We know what it is. Champions League is always. Oh, Offenheim. That could be tricky for them. The Champions League is always bigger, but considering Liverpool's situation, I prefer the league. Yeah, of course it's bigger. Grand scheme of things. I mean, it's the Champions League. It's the best teams in Europe. Same time, though, I just think the league, like you said, I mean, the league is what I would prefer if I had to pick. Um, Hoffenheim manager is good. He's okay as well, so it won't be a walkover. Yeah, we did pretty good with them qualifying for the Champions League last season. They can give City a game, so we'll see again. City just aren't going to really. It baffles me that people have them just getting quadruples and triples and like, come on, man, they're not. Forget the Champions League for City. I mean, please, that's not going to happen. I don't know if Pep Guardiola will ever sniff a Champions League title again. I think his days of getting that are over. I don't think his teams really step up to the plate when it comes to that. So, uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Wasn't as long as I thought it would be. 30 minutes is probably good enough. Still gonna hang around for another 5-10 minutes if you guys want to throw anything out there or discuss anything. But yeah, man, it's shades of blue, and the next blue team is Napoli. So let's knock them out. And then look forward to the huge match Sunday, 11 a.m. here. I will be at a local supporters bar in Baltimore for the first time, so that'll be interesting to see how they do it in Baltimore, how they get down, how the Reds get down in Baltimore at the supporters bar there. So looking forward to that, just to see some other fans stateside would be cool. But I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I'm equally excited about the Napoli game. I really am. It's Champions League. How can you not be? But again, and maybe it goes back to because I just think this group we're going to be fine in. I really do. I don't think Napoli. I mean, Napoli are going to have their set of issues they can cause us. Dries Martins is a good player. You know what I mean? The midfielder Hamsik is good. They've had several. Well, this Koulibaly has been a guy that I think we all have spoken about at least once or another that we wanted. Um, Allen, the Brazilian midfielder that they have. So they got some dudes. Callejon can step up and do some things. So they've got some players. But again, I back Liverpool against everybody. So, Anfield Lark, we can afford to rotate ahead of Man City. I agree. Out of the two games, City is more important. I agree. Yeah, I'm really hoping to see that. So talk to me about some players you think should be rotated. And who you think? I know we're looking ahead here, so forgive me, but who are you expecting to see in the City game? I know we're looking ahead, but if you can just entertain that question, that idea for a second, I would love it. Let's see. Thompson says Trent is nominated for Golden Boy. I heard. I do think Mbappe is going to win. Yeah, probably. Probably. If Trent gets it, great. Again, I'm sorry, but I can't really get excited for individual awards, really. So, if he gets it, great. If he doesn't really say anything negative about Trent. We know how good he is. Although I'm glad you brought that up because I think what I feel like we were missing in the Carabao Cup, we got excited for the game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and they really kind of failed to impress for me. Both Robertson and Trent, probably both equally. They're one of their poorest matches I think that they played in Liverpool uniform. So again, that's kind of a one-off. We're not going to see them consistently have bad games. The guys have been playing a lot of football, so there's a chance there that some guys are just knackered. That could be it. That's a possibility. So, but to me, that was equally both of their probably worst games they've had in the Liverpool uniform. It may sound harsh, but that's just what I think. Don't you think that our front three being less efficient has something to do with teams adapting to our system? Could be. I know there's people. I think Jason said it's about not having Buvac, which is a head scratcher for me slightly but I think that could be. But if it is, that's a real problem because not having an assistant manager there is the reason that we're not being clinical. I don't get that. But yes, it could be that it could be that people are catching on or adapting to our system. At the end of the day, if we're still making those chances, which I think is something that we have to realize is a good thing. Yes, we're not being clinical, but to me, I would be bothered if we weren't winning games and we weren't making those chances. We're making these chances every game. We're just not capitalizing, which is frustrating, but to me, that's why there's no need to really panic. It'd be different if we just weren't making the chances, whether it's from pressing, getting the ball back quickly, the midfield, our fullbacks, whatever the case may be, we're making chances. So to me, there's no real reason to be worried personally. I think they play Milik. Milik the number nine. He's a big dude too, so he'll have some height there. I wouldn't play Keita. Would rather him be fully ready for City. I agree with that. Although I still want to see him at some point. I have a feeling Klopp will start him. But I get what you mean. I really want to see him at City. I want to see him, Genie, and Milner. That's my City three. But I got a feeling that we'll see Milner, Hendo, and Genie again. That's just my feeling. But I think having Keita in that City game would be a big plus. That Shaqiri miss, he should have put that away. He should have. He should have. And I think again, hopefully these things that we struggle with are only going to make us better in life in general, but especially in this game of football. You know what I mean? That game was so fast paced, and again, everything was such fine margins. It was woulda, coulda, shoulda here. If we would have did this, if Chelsea did this, there were so many if, buts, and maybes. At the end of the day, we get the draw out of it. But yeah, Shaqiri definitely needs to finish that. And even the set piece, why he's kicking it right to the keeper is beyond me. When you had that great set piece against Southampton, and I think he's trying to double bluff there. I think he's thinking that obviously the right shot is to go top right corner like you did Southampton, but he goes low thinking that maybe the keeper will go that way and he'll kind of double bluff him. But again, same with Mane for that miraculous attempt instead of getting Milner to the side. It's like in games like that, do the simple things. We don't need the spectacular all the time. So I'm glad you brought that up about the fullbacks and Shaqiri missing that shot. Dominic says our team collectively is better attacking now. We've scored more than what we had this time last season. Yeah, last year, yeah, and conceded less. That's amazing. That's amazing. So I don't know how any Liverpool fan right now could be disappointed in anything. Yes, passages of play because I'm disappointed in certain ways that we fall asleep, which Chelsea is probably the only game that really happened. And not being clinical, but at the end of the day, that's almost being petty because we're still undefeated. We're still coming away um, controlling games for most of the time. I think we had the better chances against Chelsea. The Chelsea fans will say something different, but we're good. We're in a good place right now, man. So Keita had enough rest. He can play both. Yeah, and I'm thinking that too, Mercy. I think that's probably what will happen. He should have enough rest anyway. I mean, so him playing Napoli and City shouldn't be a too tall task for him to do. And I'm sure he's itching at the bit to play anyway. So, is there a chance for Fabinho to come in any of these games? Anybody thinks, or still a ways to go for him? Man, I just hope Klopp won't go with his usual midfield against City. Me too, my mate. But I mean, I'll just say this: I wouldn't be surprised if we did. And again, I can't really question Klopp at this point anymore. I can't. I just hope that we go with that, and that's enough to win. And it should be. It should be enough. But my preference is different, and that's okay. Lark says, I want to see this one day. Standard back five, then in midfield, Genie, Keita, Firmino. Up front, Sturge, Salah, Mane, Shaq. Um, yeah, I mean, I can see that. I don't know. I mean, I can see that. I don't know if Klopp does. I don't think we'll ever probably see that. But it's not a formation that I would be opposed to. Again, some of you might read that and think that's crazy. But again, I think, and speaking to Mame's point, if it's true that people are catching on to what we're doing, it's definitely worth throwing in some curveballs in there. And if that's part of what that is, then why not try it? I think City has an issue with athletic and technical teams. There are a few teams like that. Yeah, I think City could struggle with Chelsea. Again, if Chelsea can play that kind of defense against City, I think they can cause them some trouble. And again, that's where City really impressed me. Not really going forward, because going forward, and all credit to them, but we fell asleep in a couple moments. It's as simple as that. They didn't really have to work for anything they got, in my opinion. So, I mean, sure you had to work, but you know what I mean. I want the front three to start the City game. Genie, Milner, and Naby in the middle. I think Naby will enjoy a lot of space. Yeah, I'd love that. Mame, I bet Pep has been preparing this game since the. Oh, no question, no question. It's the first game he's circled on the calendar. Nicole, what's going on? Says hi guys, good to see you in. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Please if you're coming late, please if you have time, go back and check it out. A lot of things discussed in this almost 40 minutes now. But basically just talking about Sturridge, our keeper, the much of the Chelsea game, and then talking a bit about Napoli. and then also focusing slightly on Chelsea. Not too much. I know it's still early for that, and there'll be a lot of things between now and then to discuss. So we'll hold off for that. But you guys, man, enjoy your week. Another chance to watch Liverpool again. Can't wait. Probably have my eyes and ears tuned to some of the games in the Champions League tomorrow. But obviously, the main event is Napoli on Wednesday, and then we got more than enough time for a break, if you will, between that game and City. So lots of chances to watch our team coming up, and I'm excited about it. So yeah, enjoy your week, and I will see you guys Wednesday for the match against Napoli. Till then.